Hello everyone. Now today in this lecture we are going to learn about dynamic conditional correlation Garch model, which is commonly known as DCC Garch model. So dynamic conditional correlation estimators are proposed which have a flexibility of univariate Garch but not the complexity of multivariate Garch. As we have already learned in the previous video that univariate means whenever we are working on only on one variable, and multivariate means when we are working on more than one variable. That means there can be 2 variables, 3 variables, or even 10 variables. So dynamic conditional correlation is a very simple way in which we can find out the relationship between more than one variable. So this model parameterizes the conditional correlation directly. That means you will be able to find out the correlation between 2 different variables or 3 different variables in a very simple way. Now if you are looking up on these 2 figures, what you are going to observe? Now first figure will show you the prices of the Hong Kong index. That means I have just taken the indices of the Hong Kong and these are the price of that index. And this figure will show you the price of the Japan index, that is a Nikkei index. Now I think what you are going to observe, are these 2 prices are moving in the same direction or they are moving in the opposite direction. But if you are going to see these 2 figures, you will see that over here the Hong Kong prices are increasing, then decreasing at this point, and then again it's increasing, then decreasing, and then increasing. And you will observe the same pattern with the Japan also. The prices are decreasing, see the prices are decreasing, prices are decreasing, prices are increasing, prices are increasing. Now again prices are decreasing over here. Now prices are increasing, the prices are increasing, then decrease and then increase. And again you can see in Japan also prices are decreasing and then increasing. So I can say that there is a same pattern over here. Maybe in Hong Kong or maybe in Japan, we are observing that the same pattern is there. Now let's see the return of Hong Kong and Japan indices. Now what you are going to observe by seeing the returns? Now if you will see the returns, that high changes are followed by high changes and low changes are followed by low changes. And if you are going to observe these 2 figures, that means returns of Hong Kong and returns of Japan, you can see this point over here. Now if you are going to see this point, this part and this part, you can see there is a volatility in both the cases and they are moving in the same direction. Volatility is somewhat same in both the cases. So we can say that if we are seeing the returns or if we are seeing the stock prices of these 2 countries, we can say that there is some common trend between these 2. As we have observed in the closing prices, we are seeing that some common trend is there. Whenever the prices of Japan are increasing, the prices of Hong Kong are increasing. And whenever the prices of Japan are decreasing, the prices of Hong Kong are also decreasing. So we can say some common trend is there. Or I can say there is some linkage between these 2 markets. Or even I can say that these 2 markets tends to move together, which means that these 2 markets are not independent. There I think some dependency is there between these 2 markets. Either Hong Kong market is dependent on Japan, or I can say Japan market is dependent on Hong Kong. So that means this model, that means DCC model, is going to find out whether there is a relationship between these 2 variables or not, whether there is a relationship between returns of Hong Kong index and return of Japan index. Now the reason why I am saying there is some interdependency between these 2, or I can say there is a spillover effect between the Japan and Hong Kong. The reason is that both the Hong Kong and Japan are the Asian countries. That means they are the Asian financial centers. And if we look about the economic conditions of these 2 countries, the economic conditions include your trade, your services and capital movement. And if you are going to see these 2 indices, that will index of Japan and index of Hong Kong, you will see that many big public companies are either listed in Japan or either listed in Hong Kong index. plus these two countries have also the business among each other. That means they are trading goods and services among each other. So I can say that these two countries are dependent on each other, or maybe one country has an impact on the other country. So to find out all these reasons, whether they are dependent or not, there is a covariance among these or not, and what is the correlation among this or not, and whether whatever the relation is there, whether there is a long run persistence or there is a short run persistence among them, we are going to study the dynamic conditional correlation. So now I think you must have got the answer why we study DCC-Garch model. So the reason is DCC-Garch model is used to study the interdependence in volatility of one variable on another. Whether one variable is volatile on other or not. We are going to learn the covariance between the two variables, maybe two, maybe three. That means we are going to learn the covariance between more than one variable. So that's why we are going to study the DCC-Garch model. Now, if we talk about the simplest way, that means if we are going to create a model, so the simplest way of modeling the correlation structure is to assume a constant relationship among the variables. That means I can say that I am just assuming that there is a constant relationship among the variables in the model. So whatever variables are there in the model, they are related to each other, but that relation is constant. And if you remember in the previous video, I have talked about that we have different kind of Garch model, multivariate Garch model, out of which one was constant conditional correlation Garch model, which is commonly known as CCC Garch model. Now what it says that the matrix is constant over time. That means whatever relation is there at time t, that is the relation in the previous phase also. So that is what the constant conditional correlation says to us. But do you think that if the conditional correlation are constant over time, it may seem too restrictive in practice? To overcome this limitation of constant conditional correlation, dynamic conditional correlation, that is DCC-Garch model, was propounded. Now let's see what you mean by dynamic conditional correlation. Now let's first of all talk about this word correlation. We have already discussed in the previous video what you mean by Garch model. Now what is correlation? As we have already discussed that correlation means some relation. Maybe in the volatility that we name it as a covariance. So correlation is a relationship between two or more variables. Whenever we are going to find out the relationship, we are going to study the correlation. Now next is your conditional. Condition means which depends on some condition, that is on the information which is hidden in the past. So the relation which we are going to find out which is dependent on some condition, that means information in the past. And dynamic, as you all know, the word dynamic means change. So dynamic can be represented as the time varying, that is which can change with a change in time, or we can say which is not constant over time. So whenever the correlation, that means the relationship between two or more variables which is dependent on some previous past, changes along with time, is known as dynamic conditional correlation Garch model. Now let's see about the advantages of DCC-Garch model. So what are the different advantages? So the first advantage is that the correlation process is driven by only two parameters. And two parameters will be, one will be your alpha and second will be your beta. Now if we are going to see about the DCC-Garch model, we already know that DCC-Garch model is a multivariate Garch model, and in multivariate Garch model we are going to study more than one variable. That means we can study the relationship between two variables, we can study the relationship between 3, even 10 variables. But over here you are seeing that this Garch model, DCC-Garch model, is driven by only two parameters. That means your answer will be with two parameters only, which means that the number of parameters to be estimated for conditional correlation does not depend on the number of variables. That means if there are 10 variables or there are 3 variables, the correlation process will be driven by only two parameters, that means alpha and beta. So with this property, one can elevate that the computation burden and yet obtain large dimensional correlation. Now the second advantage is that these models are modeling directly the variance and the covariance. That means first we can directly predict the variance as well as the covariance, but it also predict its flexibility. It can also tell you what is the flexibility, whether the variance is a short-term persistence is there or the long-term persistence is there. So we can say that this allows to take into account the change in the relationship between volatility of variables over time. So to measure the real impact of the volatility of one variable on the other variable, we are going to study the DCC-Garch model. Now let's see the significance of these two parameters, that means alpha DCC and beta DCC. Alpha DCC implies that the estimators, that means whatever estimators we are going to get, obtained in DCC-Garch model are dynamic and time varying. That means they are changing as with the time. Now let's see what does alpha represent and what does beta. So alpha DCC measures the short-term volatility impact. That means whether the impact of volatility is for the short run. So that will be measured by alpha, which means that the persistence of the standardized residuals from the previous period. Now beta DCC measures the lingering effect. As you all know, the word lingering means long-term effect. So beta measures the long-term effect of shocks, that whatever shocks are there in the market, whether that shock is impacting for a long term. So there is a long-term conditional correlation which can be measured by beta. And it says that the persistence of conditional correlation process is for the long term. And if we are going to add these two parameters, that means alpha and beta, and if we are going to total it, so the total of these two parameters should be less than 1. And if the sum of these two parameters is less than 1, it indicates that the conditional correlation in the model are not constant over time. They are dynamic. They are changing with the time. Now let's see the steps which are to be followed in the DCC-Garch model. So the step 1 is first of all we have to estimate the series of univariate Garch model. So whatever variables you are taking, all univariate series you are taking, so you are going to estimate the series first, and the second step is to estimate the correlation. So first of all we are going to estimate the series of all the univariate Garch model which are there, with all the univariate variables which are there, and secondly we are going to estimate the correlation among those variables. So that's all for what do you mean by DCC-Garch model. In the next video we are going to learn about how we are going to make the DCC model in the RStudio. Thank you.